9-2 mother effing 5 back at it again with another sponsored episode.
On our fifth
episode
this season.
Fifth episode of the season, we got another sponsor. This is our second one. And again, it's the one and only Sticks and Stones, a NorCal lifestyle brand for those who thrive in any setting. We're talking urban, rural, and everywhere in between. From Yosemite to Eureka, Dublin to Lodi. Ladies and gentlemen, Sticks and Stones will keep you looking and feeling hella good.
You got dry skin?
Hey, sometimes my booty does get chapped. But, I mean, why are you asking that? Like, we're trying to do it out of here.
If you got dehydrated or dry skin, you could try the Hydrating Collection. If you have more oily or prone to acne skin like mine, you could try the I Got 5 on it. Their products are formulated to be non-toxic, non-irritating, and environmentally friendly, and everything in between.
Let's go. Hey, the best part about Sticks and Stones is it's not just for the ladies. Fellas, listen. If you're still not sure what product to choose, I promise you anything from the I Got 5 on it is for you, but particularly the papaya enzyme cleanser, okay? Listen, it's a ton of product that can actually be used on your whole body, not just your face. It foams up, and the best part about it is you're going to smell like a Hawaiian vacation. I'm serious. Like, you're going to put this on, and you might feel like you're on a beach in Maui. Hey, I'm just saying, okay?
You for real?
And seriously, even if you have a beard, this is for you, okay? I'm just saying. I wish I had a beard.
Okay, anyway, you can check out all the products on the website, hellagoodskincare.com. They have something for everyone. Don't forget to use our promo code HELLA925. That's HELLA 925 for 15% off your entire order. Follow them on Instagram at StickstoneSkin to stay tuned for new product drops and exclusive offers.
All right, guys. Enjoy the episode. Thank you again, Sticks and Stones. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you in like 2 seconds. Bye.
You've probably seen this man somewhere at a show, maybe on TV. Very, very popular guy. We got the one and only Rabon in the building. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey,
Appreciate you pulling up.
Me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you for making the journey out this way. You said this was your first interview podcast in a minute?
Yeah, very, very long time.
Cool. So we can just I was telling you, like, I don't think I've ever had the conversation with you about like where you got your start at and everything. So if you're down, we should just take it back all the way to the beginning with everything. If you could, my bad, if you could just pull the mic over a little bit closer to you that way. There you go.
Right there?
Yeah,
there we go. Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Teamwork.
So you're from the Bay?
Yes, from the Bay.
What part of the Bay are you from?
I was born in Oakland. This question is so funny because it's so broad, low key. I was born in Oakland, but I have family throughout the Bay. But from like my adolescent years, I can really remember just being in Richmond a lot. Okay. And like my granddad and my great grandma, they grew up as well as lived in Parchester Village. Uh-huh. So like kind of over there by Hilltop, and like my cousin Cool John like lived over there as well. So I was like, all over the place, low key. But when people ask me, like, they're always like, oh yeah, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from, was born in the Bay, but I was raised in Sacramento because from 7th grade up until I graduated high school, those are like your pivotal years, you know what I'm saying? So that Sacramento really had an impact on me. So I really rep both, low key.
Got you.
Yeah. We were always to the Bay, always.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of Saweetie a little bit. I think she's like in the same
I've
like
heard that
spot. I know she's from like Hayward, and then was out in Sacramento through like high school and everything. Yeah. But no, that's cool though. So were you a Schmop Life member?
Yes. I guess yes and no. I mean, Cool John is my cousin, so it's just like I got grandfathered in, low key. So Schmop Life.
No, that's lit. And so back in high school and everything, were you dancing and like were you turfing and all that?
Yeah, all of that, man. I'm really grateful to like have those years, like, because when I was in high school, that's when hyphy movement was like really reaching its peak and hit its peak. Right? So those are like some those are like the golden years of like, you know, the hyphy movement. Like you had Tell Me When to Go was coming out. I'm in high school at this point. So imagine like hearing those songs like at a function at that time. Like,
Oh, it's
yo, E40 just
insane.
dropped. You know what I mean? And I'm in high school, like, you know, at this point, like, yeah, like I'm trying to see what's up with the ladies. Like, you feel me? Like, what's good? So, yeah, so I was dancing in high school. And if we take it back, I've been dancing ever since I can remember.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my homies who dance out here who are in the industry, like everyone has like, you know, the Michael Jackson story. Like, oh, Michael Jackson was the reason why I started. And for me, like, yeah, Michael is Michael, but that was never for like, that wasn't me. Like I started dancing because I remember watching like Backstreet Boys and like Nsync. And that's when I guess I got my first taste of what choreography looks like. And at that time, I didn't even know what that meant. It was just like people dancing in sync.
Yeah.
You know, no pun intended. So, yeah, if we take it back, like that's when that really kind of got a hold of me. And I tried to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
So I remember Disney Channel, they would have like Nsync do those concerts, and I would try to learn the choreography in front of the TV. And then that started my itch. So from that point on, like freestyling, whatever that looked like at that point, and then
Just in the living room gigging.
yeah, like not even knowing though what I'm doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Yeah, so moving into high school or middle school into high school, that's when you had like artists like obviously Usher, like really not at his peak yet, but like getting to that peak, like with the Confessions album.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's when I was like, oh, this is dope. And then that's when I really started to learn,
Like,
yeah,
It's
how
like
to
some
gig or
choreography
really
or-
look and be like, oh, this is how you wave. Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
cool. Then You Got Served. I'm a freshman in high school when that came out.
yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
probably one of the biggest movies
Bro.
at that time, you know what I mean? And still a classic.
Classic. What? I remember being at the theater and it was so packed that people were sitting like in the aisles.
Uh-huh.
Dang.
That's how legit that movie was at that time. Like everybody had to see it.
Man,
So yeah, crazy.
they really don't do them like that anymore.
No,
But-
not at all, bro.
Going back to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys real quick.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the or even see the commercial for Darren's Dance Cruise? Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but when I moved to LA and really got into the industry, like you would hear, you know, those stories are like
Yeah.
being at Millennium, like, oh yeah, that's Darren. And I'll be like, who's
Bro.
that?
Bro,
You
that's
know?
crazy.
I know, but like thankful to all my homies, like they used to put me up on game, man. I used
Yeah.
to be so clueless to just what the industry was, and they used to put me up on game.
Yeah.
Shout
No,
out
it's-
to those homies.
It's funny. That was like I think the earliest thing like around that time. NSYNC. I don't know if he was a choreographer for NSYNC,
Mhm.
and he put out like his own DVD where he was showing you how to do some of the moves like the bye
Yeah,
like
yeah,
music
yeah.
video and everything. But I definitely remember popping and locking it. Dance Cruise.
But
My-
I guess for my time, because again, like I'm young at that time. Like I think NSYNC, I can remember 5th grade, like listening to them, right?
yeah.
But like you got served, B2K and all of those things. I know for sure when You Got Served came out, you had like choreographers like Dave Scott, Shane Sparks. They dropped DVDs of their own.
Got you.
And yeah, I think I remember having one of those DVDs and I was like learning like how to tut and stuff because
Yeah.
Omarion used to be really big on that at that time.
The tut and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, yeah.
So I used to like mimic it and I would record it. You know,
Uh-huh.
you record on the VCR and you
Watch it back.
Watch it. Hold up. Wait, he's doing the right hand, right? Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, but
No, that's exactly like how I'm on TikTok now. I'll download the video and I'm just like I'll play it in slow motion.
low key though, that's what it
Yeah.
is though. That's how it used to be, for real.
No, that's hard.
Yeah.
And okay, so I assume that you would say that you've always just been dancing, like,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the beginning. At what point was it like? Did it start to become more than
Of,
just
like,
like
a career.
yeah,
Okay.
like back in high school or
Or
anything?
like, was there
It
like a
was-
moment where
Yeah,
you were
no, it
like-
was for
yeah.
sure a moment. And that moment was when I didn't make the freshman basketball team. And I was like, yo, I gotta figure out something because I gotta be popular in high school. Like,
Got you.
that was literally like the ding.
That was the goal.
So again, I'm dancing, of course, and so yeah, I get cut, and I'm like, what am I about to do? It's literally I'm trying to devise a plan, and then my mom is in she's in Oakland, and I don't know what she was doing out there, but I remember her coming home, and she showed me a flyer that she had, and it was a talent show.
Yeah,
I forget
yeah.
the name of the talent show, but she was like, "You want to do it?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, obviously, I know how to dance again. Like, Usher, she had just came out. Like, shit, stuff
Yeah.
is going real crazy. So I'm like, all right, I don't know if I can cuss on here.
No, yeah, no,
Oh,
you're good.
Shit is going real crazy, right?
Yeah.
I said stuff.
I appreciate that, bro. Tell me why our last guest was saying the same thing too,
Bro,
He came
I'm
on
like-
here and he hit Felicia up the night before. He was like, "Yo, Felicia, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't cuss on there."
He was like, I'm gonna have to make an excuse because I cannot go. Like, there's no way. He's like, I heard Miles said frick, and I.
Hey, that's just me though.
I
But
know.
no, hey, cuss away, man.
All right, cool. I'm not about to go crazy. But, shit is popping at this point.
Yeah.
So, my best friend at the time, he used to dance as well, and I'm like, I convinced him to do this talent show with me. It's just us two, and we're making up the choreography,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I'm just like pulling moves from like music videos that I'm seeing, like Missy Elliott's out at this point, Chris
Yeah.
Brown. I don't think Chris Brown was like out just yet. Running wasn't out yet, but all these artists, right? I'm just pulling inspiration. Cool. We make choreo, we figure it out.
Like grab like from this one.
Yeah,
this video,
yeah, and
put 'em
yeah,
together.
right. So the day comes, nervous, like he's nervous, whatever, right? We do the talent show, and that moment I was like, oh, I think I found something.
Yeah.
Because that feeling of like going on stage and just commanding a crowd, like, mind you, I'm living in Sacramento at this point. So like I'm coming home and it's like other people, other talent, from different high schools, and I'm clueless to it all. So
Yeah.
if we real about it, I didn't really have like friends or like family there to like really go crazy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we go and crowd go crazy.
Yeah.
Like crazy. And I was like, oh, this is what it is. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I wanna do this. So my mom saw the potential and she started like researching like dance studios, just so I can get the foundation of that. And she found some spots out in Sacramento. Step One Dance Studio.
Okay.
And that's where I learned my foundation, man. Like,
Man. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it. Like my talent show, like we learned how to do like the hoedown throwdown, and it was like us. So y'all must have went crazy, like actually doing choreo, and like it was just me and my friend, and we were both up there, and like
Doing the Miley Cyrus.
like
yeah.
imagine if they pulled up, like it would have been crazy.
No, they would have shut y'all down for sure.
I don't know.
Hey, no,
You know?
no, what y'all are doing is different. You know what I'm saying? But
That's different.
for sure, that's
the
how-
wrong difference.
So from there, you start getting into more of the choreography side. Like
Yes.
you got the spark. Now you got
Yes.
the fire under you. You're like,
Yes.
damn, this is lit.
The fire's under me.
Now I can get it popping.
Yeah. And again, you have movies like You Got Served that came out, right?
Yeah.
I think my freshman year, there was a dance team before, like I got into high school, but it was just all females.
Got you.
And
Yeah.
You Got Served came out around this time. So dance is like this thing that like, oh, it's looked at as cool. I mean, it's obviously always been cool, but
Yeah.
at that time you think of like dance teams and you just think of all females, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that movie gave me the confidence to just like, again, just dive into it, right? So high school rallies are coming up. And
Yeah.
I'm on the dance team. I'm the only guy. And I kid you not, this high school rally went so crazy. Like I went out, I did my thing, and I like that literally solidified like, oh, that's Lil Rabon. That's my older brother was a year, he's class of 06, I'm class of 07. So they used to always call me like Lil Rabon, right?
Yeah.
But like that solidified, like, yo, that's Lil Rabon, like, he
Right.
dancing, like, woo, woo. Like they used to have all the jokes for me. Oh, you the other member of B2K, like woo, woo, the lost member type.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nah, but it was that moment right there. So again, I'm doing choreography. I'm going to these dance classes, and more music videos are coming out, and that's when I'm starting to see. I'm like, oh, I want to do music videos. Like, how do I
Yeah.
get into that? So my mom, again, doing her research, she found like a lot of like dance conventions,
Okay.
and one of them in particular, Monsters of Hip Hop. Shout out to Monsters of Hip Hop. They gave me my start. They would have choreographers come in from the industry, like
Yeah.
the hottest of the hot, right? So you had choreographers like Dave Scott, who was one of the choreographers for You Got Served,
Got you.
amongst
Yeah.
so many others, right? And then within there, it was like a 2 week, not 2 weekend, 2 day. I can't think of the word.
Like little like
2 day
conference.
convention.
Yeah, convention. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For dance. And you have a schedule. Here's these classes, this class, whatever. And there's advanced, intermediate, and beginner or whatever. I think I went straight to advanced. I was like, I'm with it. What's up?
Let's go. Yeah.
So that first year, 06, it was dope. Like, got great experience, and I was like, oh, I got a lot of learning to do.
Yeah.
Went back the next year, and what they do is they do a summer show, right? Every summer they do a show, and they pick semifinalists from all different cities.
Yeah.
And then before their show, they select, who they want to be in their show. And 14 out of like however many kids that just gone to this convention.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids.
Dang.
And I remember auditioning, right? I'm like, how, am I going to be a semifinalist? And I'm auditioning. It's so many other kids in there. It feels like a real audition, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Nappy Tabs, they taught it. Shout out to Nappy Tabs. They've done everything under the sun. And yeah, I became a semifinalist. And soon after that, they called me and was like, hey, we want you to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. At this point, I'm in 11th grade.
You're shook.
Yeah, I'm shook.
I mean, because you're trying to figure out a way, like, you didn't make the basketball team. And so
Yeah,
you're like,
bro.
now how can I get it popping, like, out here in my school, like, become more popular?
Yeah.
And you tear the high school rally up.
Going
Now
crazy.
everybody knows.
But at this point, too, after tearing the high school rally up, it's like other guys wanting to join.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
Like, they're
of
like,
course.
oh, this is what it is. All right, we like it over here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, come to this side, man.
But I mean,
Yeah, I
especially
dig it.
like getting to go and have some choreography just in that from that convention from Dave Scott,
Yeah.
and like I mean everybody's watching that movie at that time, so
Yeah.
like you already know what it is, and it's like, all right, I got to get in here and go crazy.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so I mean, taking it from there, like now at this point, you got to have a lot of confidence under you with it, from the girls screaming
Yeah.
at school
Yeah.
to making a into the finalists, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my question is, are there any videos from these moments back in the day? Like, is there a high school rally video that you can pull up somewhere? Like, I mean, after
I don't
this,
know.
but like,
yeah,
it'd be
I don't
crazy
know
to
about
see.
high school rallies because again, like flip phones,
They
when
didn't
you're
have them like
young,
that.
Yeah, they were bad back then. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that quality can even
Make it,
make it through.
If there was like a multimedia class or something that was taking video,
Bro.
you know what I mean?
Oh my
but
gosh.
it'd be
But
cool to look back on.
I got like I have like old, because I was on a competition team as well.
Yeah.
Like 10th, 11th grade, and that's where I got a lot of like my like clean foundation.
yeah,
like
yeah.
Learning to don't when we say have your hands in blades, we mean this, like tuck that thumb, like
Got you.
not like this, like
yeah.
yeah. Shout out to Miss T. She was really strict on us.
was on it. So after you get the finalist,
Yeah.
then you move on to the show. What show was it?
Monsters of Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, their dance showcase, their summer showcase that they do every summer, and I was actually the second one. So
Yeah.
their first show ever was, because I think they started it in 2005, and their first show was 06, and I actually went to that show with my mom because my mom had found out, and went to the show, and I was like, Mom, what is this? Like, this is crazy. Like, I have to figure out what this is. So then 07, I went to the convention, and that's when semifinalists. And then next thing I know, they want me to do the show. Cool.
Yeah.
So in order to do the show, you have to come to LA
There it is.
for 2 weeks, and figure out where you're gonna stay and all those things. Luckily, I had a friend out here who had just like moved out here, and he let me stay at his place. And
Goated.
I remember, but the first rehearsal, maybe actually the first 2 rehearsals, I was like, oh, this is what it takes to be a pro.
Got
And
you.
I just felt just underqualified, bro.
Really?
Dang.
I like to the point I low key wanted to quit.
It was a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. And we're moving at a fast pace. We're learning so much choreography, like, because it's a full show that we have to learn in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
What made you not quit?
I think just the other dancers, you know, that were also on the show, and they're people from all over the world.
Mhm.
Like literally, like I think one of the girls from my class was from the Ukraine or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
so just really talking to all these people, or even just the choreographers, they were just pumping life into me. Like, no, you
Yeah.
got this. You're not quitting. Like, just keep going through it. Go through the steps. You'll get it. You'll get it. And, yeah. 2
And-
weeks later.
and it worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now that you're able to make it through this and kind of got the confidence with that, you know, with it all, this is like your first moment of like an actual gig.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Because again, I'm working with choreographers in the industry who are working
Like,
nonstop with
really
artists
been.
that I'm looking up to at that you know, at that point.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, we do the show, kill it, and at the show, I think we did a total of 3 shows.
Okay.
And the last show, they invite like dance agencies, producers, obviously more choreographers. So it's almost like you're being scouted in a sense, because like these are the 14 people we've chosen out of the tour that we just did.
Yeah.
Like we see something on these kids, and low key,
Come see what's up.
yeah, come see
Yeah.
what's up. And when I say they gave me my start, it was like they truly gave me my start in a sense, because that's where I was sought out by the agency I'm with now.
Oh wow.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Still, so I actually met with 2 agencies, and the first one is Block. I'm with Block I'm now, but I ended up going with Clear Talent Agency, and I was with them for almost 10 plus years.
Okay.
And then I made the switch over to Block. But I kept a close relationship with both.
For sure.
But
yeah.
like through them,
Yeah, no, that's a big moment right there.
Yeah, big moment.
I was kind of trying to figure that out. Like, you know, for artists, one of the main goals, I think, for every artist is to sign to a major label,
Absolutely.
right? Getting onto one of those agencies as a dancer is like similar to like one of those moments?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because from there, now that you're with the agency, you're able to get booked for, oh yeah, you know, we got Rabon,
Yeah.
you know, we
yeah.
can throw him in this video like that. And so is that how, you know, stuff started following from there?
No.
Okay. So now you're a part of the agency.
Yeah, I'm
There's
a
still
part of
some
the
work.
agency. We don't get an advancement. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't get the crazy stuff just yet. You know, they, in a sense, they kind of sell you the dream, right?
Okay.
You know, you can come out here, you can be this, and obviously, like, it's up to you. How bad do you want this? So, of course, like, when I first moved out here at 19,
Damn, that's young.
yo.
Yeah.
Okay, quick backstory.
Yeah. Let's hear
So
it.
before, the agencies, they were like, you know, we want to meet with you. I met with both, and they both said like, you need to like live out here, because the way auditions pop up, it could be same day, and we need you there in an hour time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So my mom is like, you know, what do you want to do? You have a cousin out there. She's willing to, you know, let you stay in her living room until you get on your feet. And at that time, I was like, nah, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? So in my mind, I'm like, I'll enroll in college, city college, and then from there, I'll transfer to like a school with a dope dance program.
Yeah.
So I was looking at like Santa Barbara. They had a cool dance program. So that's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm supposed to get into the industry, right?
Got
Go
you.
this route. One night, me and my mom, we were driving to LA for something. And I remember she was like, it was nighttime too. She was asleep, and I'm just driving. I'm listening to music, and then something just clicked. It was like, no, don't go to school. Like,
Yeah.
like move in with your cousin. I remember waking my mom up, and it's literally a week before. school's about to start. I'm already enrolled.
Dang.
And she was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna move to LA." So yeah, 19, moved
So,
to
hey,
LA.
And sometimes you just gotta follow those.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Because obviously, you know,
Yeah,
hey, you
I
never
think-
know where it could have went.
I know,
from
but
there.
I think back now, and I'm just like, yo, like the courage. Like,
Yeah.
where did I get? Like, where did that come from? Like, literally, and you know what it's like to drive to LA on the 5. You know
five,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real. Like, you can meditate. You zone out. So like, what was going through my head? Like,
Yeah.
for me to just be like, nah, I'm moving to LA. So 19, move to LA. They sell you the dream, but you got to be on it, right? So I'm in dance classes. I'm going to whoever dance class I can get into for free because I don't have money to pay. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of choreographers they'll get like guest spots, and so I'll try to get on somebody's guest spot.
Okay.
And the more you're in dance class, like choreographers are starting to see like, oh, like this is a new kid. Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
he's showing up. Like, okay, like cool. So I'm doing all these classes. Again, I'm not relying on making money just yet from dancing. So I'm like, I gotta go get a job. I remember, I think I went to Banana Republic. They were like, yeah, you know, you got the job. Cool.
That's
and
sick.
then that same like week, I booked like my first tour, but it wasn't through my agency. And that's almost like
Really?
a no, like don't do that because it's like the agency is gonna look out after you, right? As far as like making sure the money's good, making sure the contract's right, like
Getting
whatever. This was
gigs,
like
all-
through a friend of a friend type deal, right?
Yeah.
This tour was supposed to last like 3 months.
Yeah. Like a
It
big
lasted
tour.
a week.
Oh, really?
A week, bro. It was so much drama, but I got $500 out of it. So
There
yeah,
was.
I got the Banana Republic job, but then I quit it like before I even
Oh,
started.
damn.
Yeah,
Okay, so the tour fell apart.
fell apart, bro.
Yeah. Damn,
was
that's
done.
crazy. And so, but this was your first check that you gotten from dancing? Was it in that moment?
Yeah, in that moment.
Your first 500.
First 500. I'm like, okay, cool. So get back to LA. Again, my cousin, she's working with me. She's like, you know, until you get on your feet. She found out through a friend of a friend, like a dance program, like teaching an after school dance program.
Yeah.
Cool. Got the job. And that's how I was like making money, like a little bit of money to just like really like survive, be on my feet. Cause I had my own car at that point. I'm not relying on my cousin to get me around. So
Got you. Yeah.
I get that job and it's cool. Shout out to all the little kids over at KYDS. I don't even know if the program is still alive. But yeah, so from that point on, I'm going to auditions and I'm seeing some of the dancers I'm looking up to in this industry. Like, man, that's so and so. Or they dance for Chris Brown. They right. So I'm just paying attention. Like, how are they coming into the audition? Like, what's their, you know what I'm saying? What's their niche? Like, what are they doing to book these jobs? So I'm just paying attention, right? So at this point, I'm making it to the end almost every single time, but it's just not clicking yet. Not clicking. And then finally, I remember there was an audition for, it was 2008 MTV Movie Awards.
Okay.
And it was for Mike Myers and Chris Brown.
Ooh.
This was around the time that you had, what was it, from like Step One, you had like Adam Savani and Allison Stoner. They would do like the dance battles.
Oh, yep.
Whatever, right? So it was really big at that time. So they wanted to like spoof that. So it was like Mike Myers and Chris Brown. And
Fire.
it was a freestyle audition too. And I'm just like, they're seeing like 10 people out on the floor.
Got you.
And
Okay.
everybody's just freestyling.
Yeah.
And everybody's just trying to like, I'm trying to get there. And I'm
That's,
like,
crazy.
yo, I got to make my way to the front. Like, I got to be seen.
Right.
Whatever. Anyways, I book it. This is my first one, right? And I'm like, man, Chris Brown, like, this is crazy. Like, Run It. Like, I was playing that song faithfully. Like, I would be in front of the TV dancing to that song, right? So I'm chilling in rehearsal, like, before they get there. And I remember when he walked in,
You were shook.
I was shook, bro.
Yeah.
I was shook.
Now he's the guy.
Like-
bro, 2008 Chris Brown is a different Chris Brown.
Bro, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I geeked out. For
Yeah.
sure, for
Was
sure.
that your
I-
first like starstruck moment?
Yeah, in the industry,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Like, but I held it together.
There you go.
Wait.
Got out there,
I'm
did-
like, okay, I gotta act like I've been here before. So,
Right.
Yeah, I do that job, and then I booked another tour. This is
Okay.
through my agency. Shane Sparks was a choreographer, one of the choreographers from You Got Served. It was this up and coming artist. His name was Justin Stein, and we were opening up for Corbin Blue.
Go dude.
Oh.
And it was like a state fair tour. So this is
Okay,
the
yeah.
first tour. We have a tour bus, like, you know what I'm saying? I think my weekly was like $1,000 a week. And I remember
Yeah.
calling my mom. I was like, Mom, I booked the tour. I'm gonna be making $1,000 a week. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the most money I'm about to ever touch. Like, in this moment, like, this is
Bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, the other thing too is like, there's so many people that dance,
Yeah.
you know, or, you know, and try to make a career out of dancing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not an easy thing to do. I can imagine, right? Because
Bro.
especially out here in LA, how many dancers do you think are going into those classes every day? Or, you know,
The
every
ones who are
week.
committed, man, like, they're there.
yeah.
And again, I'm like the generation under, so I'm like first generation, like Instagram and right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
be under that, bro. Like nobody was really in dance class. Nobody was really like, oh, I'm filming. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like
Yeah.
a thing. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
go to class to be filmed because it's almost like obviously it's gonna go on your social media and then
Right.
now your page is being looked at. It's almost like your portfolio. Like.
Exactly.
Now people are
Dang.
getting booked off of that. Like I get hit up
Really?
from choreographers all the time. Like, yo, they'll give me like the specifics, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll be sending over like just people that I can just think of, and I'm like,
And you shoot the videos like of them like on their Instagram or something.
right, yeah. So that's what it is now. So back then it wasn't that, bro. Like,
yeah.
YouTube was popping, but not like that just yet. So you had to be in class
For sure.
Like
yeah.
you had to, bro. Like you had to be seen because you couldn't rely on a phone because that
Or social
technology
media.
wasn't out yet.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that. And so now you're out there in a bus. You know, I'm gonna say those bus sleeps were some of the best ones
Bro,
that I've
still
ever
to
had in
this
my
day.
life. Yeah, you know
Still
what I'm
to this
saying?
day, bro.
When you get in
Hands
that
down.
bunk,
But wait, which bunk? Like which one you on?
but I'll take the small one. I get on the very bottom, small one. In the
okay,
back.
so you
yeah.
so you like the bottom though.
yeah, yeah.
Pause. You know what I mean? Though. You know what I mean? The bottom bunk. He likes the bottom bunk.
bottom bunk.
Yo, so I've never had the bottom bunk, but like middle, like obviously everybody wants the middle.
Yeah.
But where it's really at, bro, that top bunk.
Is it?
That top bunk, bro.
Well, what's up with it?
Bro, I don't know.
Different.
Different.
I get in the bottom one and just roll in there, and I can roll out.
I get,
you know
I
what I mean?
get that though. I get
Yeah.
it. But something about that top bunk, bro. I
It's-
don't know what it is. My
that's
past
funny.
2 tours, I'm like top.
Yeah, yeah. No, so there'd be times where we would pull up to a hotel and we would have a hotel to stay in, you know,
And
for the
you'll
night.
say-
And
you'll
I
say-
would stay in the bus.
Same.
It's that comfortable.
It
and
is.
maybe it has something to do with the generator.
I think so. Yeah.
You just hear like the hum of
yeah,
the bus
yeah,
a little
for sure.
bit.
It has to.
Yeah, yeah.
Has to.
But okay, so now you're getting to experience that. You're on the bus, tour bus life and everything. And I mean, from there, you go on to book
Yeah.
a bunch of tours.
Crazy thing. Shout out to Shane Sparks.
Yeah.
I remember in those rehearsals for that tour. You know, I'm just telling them about my very short career at this point because I moved to LA 19, like I said, but the year February 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah, February 11th, 2000,
You know the
2008. Wow,
yeah.
I'm tripping. Crazy. So, as a dancer, you know, your agent sells you this dream and you're like, oh, okay, cool. But there you hear stories from like dancers who been out here for years before they get that first like job. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
hustling, like they got jobs over at wherever you can think, restaurants, whatever, right? So I'm a few months in, I booked the Michael Myers and Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And then that summer, I booked that tour. And I remember him, like, talking to Shane, and I was like, yeah, so, you know, this is happening and whatnot. And he was just like, okay. He was like, I just want to let you know, once you book that first one, like, it's a snowball effect. And I was like, okay. Like, I just kind of, like, took
You're
that,
like,
right?
I
And I
mean-
remember, bro, it was a snowball effect.
That's awesome. Yes,
Snowball
and that
effect
was
after
the
that.
beginning right there. Because I
Yeah.
mean, could you just go through and name some of like maybe even your favorite tours or I mean, just start with tours. Like, what are some of the artists that you've gotten to go out with?
Well, from after that tour, um, getting. I remember right before we came home, I got a call from my agent. It was like, "Hey, this audition is happening. You know, it's for Britney Spears."
Yeah.
And this is her like comeback after everything she had like gone through. Like this was like the circus album.
Oh yeah.
Went to the audition, made it to the end. Then it was between me and this other guy, same complexion. You know what I'm saying? He's super vetted. Like he's worked with everybody. So they wanted us to come back. Man, all right, cool. I'll come back. And I just danced, did my thing, and they ended up choosing me, right?
Yeah.
Dang.
Bro, wait. That's crazy.
Yeah, yo,
That
so-
they do that. Like in
Yeah.
auditions, they'll narrow it down to like, all right,
Oh,
it's gonna be
what?
between you
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah, like if they can't figure it out, like that, they'll.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if they need to see something like, yo, can you come back? Like we just want to see.
Yeah.
Make sure we're making the right decision. And at this time, I had long hair, bro. Like I used to have braids, like to the middle of my back. So
Yeah.
and he didn't have hair, but I guess like that kind of sold it as well.
Just a good look up there.
It was, just,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So I ended up doing that music video, and then that's what opened up that whole like me just working with Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Did a few more music videos, and then top of that year, before 2009, she had auditions for her Circus World Tour,
Yeah.
and then went to that, booked that, and then yeah,
From there, it just kept
Britney
going.
Spears. There's so many to name. Like,
I'm trying to think.
like, you know what I'm saying? Humbly,
Yeah.
like speaking,
Yeah.
there's so many to name, but
A lot of tours and,
lot of
and different
tours, yeah.
events, but it seems like I notice you all over the place too. Like,
Okay.
right? I mean, we can get into this, but like we're even watching the Super Bowl. You know, the other day in a halftime, I'm like, man, I feel like Jared Bond's about to pop out right here somewhere.
For real?
And then right in the front, I'm like, there he is. No, that's insane.
crazy.
They got a
Like,
good shot of you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the cameraman, man.
I
Show
know.
me- you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at the point now too. Like, again, I've done so much, and I'm super super grateful because, man, I know a lot of like dancers who would kill to have like a resume like mine.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm super grateful, and I understand the position that I'm in. So,
100%. Yeah.
again, so yeah, I've done so much to the point it's like I wouldn't say jaded. I've had my moments where I'm like, oh man, like I don't know if I want to like do the dance industry anymore. There's so much that comes with it. Just like in any industry, there's always all these politics, right?
Yeah.
So,
And you're over 10 years with it now.
Bro,
You know what I
I'm-
mean? So it's like,
bro,
it makes sense that you feel that. I think that it's good. Like I noticed that you take photos and everything
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know, like just getting out and getting to do different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you model too, right?
yeah, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have a model agency, but
bro, you're getting
hey,
booked.
man, I'm trying to get booked, man.
Come
Like,
on.
come on, man. I'm trying to figure it out.
Check the
But,
Instagram.
I think what I've learned just over the 14 plus years I've been out here is like there's so much power in relationships, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's like the true currency, right? So you do good, good will come on to you. So like anybody that I'm meeting, like if we talking like me and you, like when we first met, you know what I'm saying? Like if I can think back, it was connecting through like Twitter or something like that, or just
I was about to
Instagram.
ask you.
Was
Um,
it?
It damn near was Kalen, right?
Yeah.
Was he? He probably reached out to you because
I think so, but like through Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Like it had to been, bro. Like I don't know. And I remember at this point I'm on tour with Bieber, like that Believe tour, and
Yeah,
San Jose, I think is when we met for the first time.
Yeah,
And it's been
yeah.
love ever since, right? Like
absolutely.
I just make sure to, even if it's a quick interaction, I just make sure to water like relationships, right? So if we're talking about like this whole modeling thing, yeah, I don't have an agent and I'm not with an agency for it, but I just know so many cool people who do cool shit that
Yeah.
like they be like, oh, like
I
his
can
stuff
get
is
it.
dope. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I got hit up today. Like, yo, I'm doing this campaign. Like, would you be down? Whatnot? And then they'll like
Uh-huh.
send me over the stuff, and I'm just like,
You're like,
I don't even
yeah.
have an agent, but like,
No, that's
yeah,
hard.
like-
That's hard.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much
Um,
power in just relationships, and when you water them, man, like,
I already know I'm gonna clip that. That's gonna be the clip for sure, for that, because that's important. I think some people don't understand that
man,
and just try to. They're so focused on getting to whatever their goal is that they
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
disregard like the help on the way there,
Yeah.
people that they cross paths with, because you never know how it could end up working out in the end. But like even too like, and I know it's genuine from you. It's not
Yeah.
even like you're doing it in a way to like get something in
Build,
return or
yeah.
like hope that you just got to be this good person so that you get anything. You know what I mean? It's just like that's just how it it is naturally, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, we met at the San Jose show, which
Yeah.
that had to have been 2014.
Nah, this
Later, earlier, 12.
Girl, yeah,
12,
2012,
probably
'cause
12.
It was his Believe tour.
You're just
And
bad
then-
with dates.
Hey,
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And then that was so we connected through that, and then after meeting you guys, I was just like, oh, it's love, like whatever. So again, watering that relationship, and then at that time, like you guys are doing your music, and
Yeah.
it's starting to,
Little bubble. Out
yeah,
there.
you're getting a little bubble, okay, like a little buzz real quick. So at that point, yeah, like you guys get the deal, whatever. But then you're just reaching out, and you guys are in LA a lot more. And at that point, Believe Tour was over, and it was between that period of Believe Tour and Purpose Tour where I was able to like connect with you guys
Yeah.
as well. And we got in the studio a few times. And
Come on.
man,
Yeah, it's been really cool. I think that me and Kaylin were absolutely inspired from Justin and like his tours.
yeah,
I was gonna ask you, did you go to this one show? The very first show me and Kaylin went to was it was a college benefit show. I can't remember the city that it was in, but it was for the My World. It was like the My World set.
nope, I
Where
wasn't
you
there.
weren't. Oh, okay,
Uh,
I'm glad you weren't because
no, and the reason why I know I wasn't there, because
Wasn't
I think
your first tour, Believe?
that was my first tour dancing for him.
Yeah.
But I
Uh-huh.
was on his My World tour.
Oh, dang.
So
Oh.
Jasmine Villegas, she opened up for him.
yeah. Go ahead.
And yeah, so at that time, I remember going to audition for her, and I booked that. And it was me and my homie Anthony Ken. It was just us two.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's when I first met Justin, because
Okay.
they had puppy love for one another. They were dating at that time. And
Right.
so he used to be in our dressing rooms, like just
Kicking it.
kicking it. And yeah, so that's when I officially like met him, became a fan of him. I was like, oh, this kid is super talented. Like, this is
Right.
crazy. All right. And at that time, my best friend Nick, he was dancing for him. So yeah, that's how that. Yeah.
And that's so you end up getting connected through there, like obviously being around him, and then like with Nick. And
Yeah.
is that how it worked out for getting on to Believe?
Yeah. I remember at that time they were only hiring one agency for him, which was
Gotcha.
Block, and I was
Oh.
with Clear at that time. So I was like, man, I would love to dance for after seeing him and seeing him perform and just seeing the show, I was like, man, I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And bro, I would just manifest it. Like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm not with Block, but I'm gonna figure this out. And then next thing I know, so yeah, we did that tour. I met him. Met him when he was 15. And
The baby.
yeah, like Baby
Man.
Bieber, man. And yeah, so after that tour, he had a few like just random TV shows. And then at this point, Nick is starting to choreograph for him.
Mhm.
And then again, Nick is like, we weren't like real like best friends at that point, but we were like friends, right?
Yeah.
So he had an open call, like he didn't have an open call audition, but he had an open call for all agencies rather than just Block. And I was one of those dancers for that. And it was like a Christmas special on like either X Factor or Dancing
One
with
of
the Stars.
those.
One of those. I don't know. And then that's what kind of like sparked it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Came in there and turned it up.
And then Believe, the album was starting to come out, so that Believe era. So they had auditions for that, music videos and all that. And at this point, Nick is fully choreographing for him. So
yeah. Man, I'm gonna say, I think that the Believe tour, and we've had our discussions among we're all big Bieber fans. I think the Believe tour was the best one.
okay.
I would say that, like,
Okay.
especially like the time that it was like Justin
It was
Bieber.
epic, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was a little different. It's still amazing now.
But
you know
it
what I'm
was
saying?
different back then, bro.
Yeah, it felt way different. And I think just the whole show in general, and like that's the one where he came down on those wings.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, that's
Like
epic.
nobody was doing that.
Nah.
Yeah.
When you see him come in like that, you're like,
Bro, you're
this
like,
guy is
what,
not a
bro?
human being.
And
It's
then like
crazy.
shout out to my brother Jay Blaze, because we were the ones at the edge of the stage of the thrust, and we had to
You
unclip him,
unhook,
bro.
unhook him, right?
And I remember, yo, it wasn't just a natural like, oh, unclip, bro. Like that's like it was had to do. You had to do some like real shit to get that shit unhooked, and it's like the show is relying on you. Like,
yeah, you got
Yeah.
10 seconds to get
Bro.
freaking slip.
like you literally, it was like one of those clips that you had to like push together,
Okay.
then unhook. So like you're using your strength to like push it,
Yeah.
and like unhook. And mind you, he's strapped in this thing so tight. So sometimes even trying to get your hand by the clips, it's just like his clothes are like bunched over it. So it was like a real thing, bro.
Yeah.
Did you ever
shit-
mess up? Like it took too long?
They're like, hey, just send him
Yes,
back.
yes and no. Like, oh, one side is taking longer than the
Yeah.
other. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like what are we doing? And then
Yeah.
it'll pop off. But we never had a moment where it was like we couldn't get it off.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I feel like that would definitely be nerve wracking.
Oh my
Especially
gosh, bro.
because you know the build up for it at that moment. He just coming out.
Cause you
like,
remember, bro.
oh
like-
yeah, bro. I went to like I think I did 2 or 3 of those shows.
Damn,
but
that's crazy.
no, it's good times, and that was it was awesome getting to meet you, especially us knowing that you're from the Bay Area. It's always
Yeah.
gonna be love when we get to cross paths with anybody in the industry that's also from out there too. It's always
Absolutely.
good to see them going crazy, and yeah, so it's been good. You go through the tours. Well, okay, so I'm saying to Believe is my favorite. Which one would you pick as yours, as far as like the show, everything?
Man,
choreography.
Purpose, bro.
Purpose was cool.
Purpose.
The
Purpose.
box thing was
Um,
sick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The reason why is because Believe tour, it was like a lot of our first like major moment. Like yeah, at that point, like you had like my best friend Nick, best friend Johnny.
Mhm.
Like we've all done like cool jobs, but this was like we just felt like that was the moment that solidified us, like dance wise,
Yeah.
right? Or just being on a hype level. If we're talking back then, it wasn't clout, but if we're talking about like clout, right?
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
was like that moment that was like, oh, that's
No,
them,
ultimate.
right?
Yeah.
So it was new for us, and you can ask anybody from that tour, bro. Like we were rock stars,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
and I mean like all across the board. I'm
Yeah.
not just obviously Justin Bieber, but from the band to the dancers, like we were all, like that was our energy, right? So by the time we got to Purpose, it was like, oh, we've been here before. Like we
Yeah.
know this rodeo, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool, right? So you just when it came to Purpose, obviously Purpose in itself, that just
The
says,
album.
speaks volumes,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
the word Purpose, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we had our other best friend on the tour, Michael. So it was like the 4 best friends on tour, right? And then not only did Nick choreograph, this was his first stage he designed, artistic directing.
Oh, cool.
Dang.
So anything you like, you said you love the box, right?
Yeah.
That was
That was Nick.
That's
creative. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like the trampoline in the sky, that's Nick. Like,
yeah.
bro, like that tour like solidified him in that realm.
Cool.
Like
yeah.
Nick is known as like this awesome creative director. I would bet my money on him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Nicky Damore.
Let's
my
go.
boy. But yeah, so that tour was the one where it was like,
You really felt like him. Absolutely.
yeah, like that show, like the stage, everything about it. I remember like that first show just being so ready to just like go crazy.
Yeah. You mentioned like the fans of Justin Bieber are deeply rooted with like everything that he
What?
does, right? And
That's-
so it's like, you guys being rock stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Like, you working with anyone else might have been different because it's like, I don't know if Britney Spears fans are like, because I feel like Justin was like Twitter, like started like he was like the basis of staying
around
Twitter.
it was around that time.
So
It was
it's
around
like
that time.
it's like even though like Britney Spears is Britney Spears, like
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
it's
she's already
still-
solidified at that point. Though.
Yeah.
Like what they say with like Bieber is like his fans are so like indebted to him. Like they literally like if you ask them who found Bieber, they're gonna be like, we did.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it caught the eye of like a Scooter Braun and
Right.
stuff like that.
But then
So-
Yeah.
it goes deep into knowing the dancers
Everything.
and maybe even the bus driver of some of them.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, they would find just all the crazy stuff. I remember like there would be like sometimes like we'd get to like a random city and like you'd be like, oh, they're not gonna find me. Like, and they
There's
find
no-
you.
Yeah.
You're like,
that's
how?
crazy.
And you be so low key, like again, I'm just a dancer, whatever, like super low key, like they will make a big scene out of it. And it's like, chill.
Like, wait.
Yeah, like they're screaming like I got the mic in my hand and I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all these melodies, but no,
Yeah. No, it's hella funny.
they go crazy, bro.
I definitely was in like the fangirl like type phase, and I was in it, and I had friends that were like in it more, but I don't know. I don't
she
know
might have been
how.
the one to
no,
find
no,
you.
no,
You don't know.
listen.
She's like, I don't know to what limit I was in
No.
it.
But I don't know how my friends did it. Like me personally, I would just go along with them, like wherever we went,
Yeah.
whatever. Like one time, I think. Shout out to Mary Cruz. We tried to go find Justin. Apparently, he was gonna be at this like, it was St. Patrick's Day. It was my birthday, so apparently
Okay.
he was gonna be at this restaurant that's like Irish. I don't know. Apparently, but I don't know how she found out anything. Like me too. I'm confused, and I was in it.
They
Like
were like, it be
They're
just
different.
It's just like it's different, bro. Twitter changed the game because again, fans were able to connect with one another.
yeah.
And
I
just
think
pass information.
Yeah, they would pass information. It wasn't like again, we're all like first generation like social media. So
Right.
I remember even some of my friends, like a dancer would like post like a thing, and then they're like,
Like a restaurant or something.
okay, usually when I went to concerts, it was like in the Bay, so I didn't really know the city very well.
Yeah.
But my friends that were like in the Bay were like, oh my god, this flower bed is actually next to this place, and it's near this
Oh,
restaurant.
yeah.
They're going here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they'd be crazy.
Yeah, like we would do like dance workshops, and sometimes it would be more fans than it was like dancers there.
Dang.
Oh,
And
wow, yeah.
like people who didn't even know how to dance, they just wanted to be in the room, so they would pay for tickets, and they would just be in the back, kind of just like joking around, like
That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah. Bro.
So, do you have to be careful with things that you're posting, like when you're out there? Like, obviously knowing
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like you weren't like on your stories or anything. Like,
nah, and again, you're an extension of his brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that in itself should tell you everything. Like,
you're not trying to be out of pocket or nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or-
you can't be out of pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's been moments where you've heard stories before I was even like a part of the team, but like even from just way back, like bro,
Now,
them NDAs are real. So
absolutely, yeah. Has there ever been a moment where you guys are on tour and you're just slapping some Bay Area music?
absolutely.
And like, so you're telling me there's a moment where you saw Justin Bieber with your own eyes, just gigging to like Mac Dre or
Not
like,
necessarily, but like in our dressing room, dance dressing room, bro, the boys' dressing room. What?
y'all are slapping all the time.
What?
Yeah.
Going crazy. Like everybody's from everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So you got like shout to all the homies, but you got people from like one of the dancers from Japan, one of the dancers from Miami. Like we're just
Yeah.
Midwest, like you know what I'm saying. So everybody is sharing their culture.
Which is cool because you get to dive
It's like
in.
a melting
and,
pot,
like,
bro. Like
yeah.
you know, I used to get put on from like artists from the Midwest. Like I remember the homie put me on Shmino. Like I was
Yeah,
like, who's
yeah.
this? And this is before like he was really going crazy, right? So that can just and you know somebody obviously has a speaker in the room. You
Right,
know, so
right.
it's like who playing what today?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
of course, I was for sure.
I was
that.
I was thinking too, like there's so much pressure on the artists, you know, when they go and do a tour and it's so busy. The
Mhm.
schedule is crazy, right?
It's crazy.
For a dancer to be a part of that tour, in my head it seems like, not to say that it wasn't a lot of work, because I know the like the prep for it
Yeah.
and all the choreography and going through the moves and everything. Like I'm sure that that's a lot of work. But once you finally get out there, did it feel like not necessarily like a vacation? I know you got to show up, but definitely a lot easier than like what the artist has to handle like day to day, right?
Yeah.
But in a way, was it like, because I want to almost even like being an opener on the tour. Like when we would go out and open, it was like we had a lot more time to just like kick it,
Yeah.
and do stuff. You know what I mean? When you're at the, you know, showing up to the arena, do you think that you have more time to just like, you know, kick it or do whatever, or was it, you know?
Now we had time to kick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we for sure had more time on our hands than
Yeah.
sometimes want it.
I got you. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you just be backstage like bored. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So especially those cities, if it was like a back-to-back show, we're just going straight to the arena and we're sleeping on the bus, and then when they kind of like open up the arena, we would go in and we'd shower and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you got 6 hours to kill. Like what am I about to do?
Right.
So, go out and explore and see what's popping with the city. But
That's what's kind of cool then. So having that time, like getting to do a tour as a dancer, is seems like almost the best way to do it because you get to be on stage and get that full bang. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then also have time to explore the cities when you're in there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. But again, you had some places where you couldn't.
I got you.
Those fans were,
So
Anybody who
you
was
couldn't even
attached.
go out. Yeah.
bro. When we got to South America, it was up,
Oh,
Dang.
yeah, that's
What?
crazy.
bruh. South America fans go crazy.
Did something specifically happen out there where you were just like,
Oh,
"Yo,
absolutely.
this is different."
I got my hat stolen.
Like when you were just out.
bruh. If I was to ever see, bruh, whoever stole my hat, bro, it's up, bruh. Like that was my polo hat, bruh. Like
Damn.
they stole my polo hat, bruh. I remember I was so pissed. Like
So what were you doing at that point? Were you on your way into the venue or were you just out chilling?
Nah, like our hotel was like connected to a like a little shopping mall, or whatever. So it was on
Yeah.
some like, oh, I'm just about to go see what's over here, maybe grab some food. And it was just obviously the fans find out where you stay, especially like once you start hitting overseas. It's like they know these spots that a lot of these artists are staying in. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
over here where you can be incognito,
Like anywhere, damn near.
anywhere. Like they know, so especially some of these places. It's like this is the only like
Yeah,
5-star type of hotel that, and we just know that they'll be there,
for sure.
or they'll
yeah.
follow us from the airport, whatever. So I remember, there was fans in the thing, and I'm trying to avoid them, and then going back into like the hotel, they just like surrounded me, like to the point where I got claustrophobic, and I had to be like, "Yo, like
Chill.
back up," and they're just like, "We love you, like John Book." At that point, no, there was, I think I changed my Twitter handle.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I was
it
gonna
was
bring that up too because
it
that's
was
how
John
I knew
Boogie
you.
at that time. I
Yeah,
think.
John Boogie was what I known you as first.
And then
Yeah.
I just switched it to Rabon.
Yeah.
I was like on my
Well,
name.
Was that from just like I'm gonna make my Twitter name this, or did it come? You already had that nickname before,
The first one,
John Boogie.
my dance teacher.
We'll call you John
Yeah,
Boogie?
Miss T. She used to
Yeah.
call me J Boogie actually.
Okay, yeah,
And I didn't want to go by like J Boogie because in like B2K you had like J Boog or whatever, and I was
Yeah.
just like, nah, like I'm just do John Boogie, like
yeah,
that's gonna
nah,
be my name, and I ran with that. Like when I first hopped on Twitter, that's what it was.
uh-huh.
Up
No.
until I was like, okay, I want to change. I don't want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And then because that was kind of like the first time that I saw J. Ray Bond was through your music, and
Mhm.
so that's like what you release your music. under.
Yeah, because that's when that transition was happening. I was like, I'm diving more into to my music, that artistry, and and I just knew I didn't want to go by John Boogie. Like,
Yeah. Have you always been working on music? Was that something that you did back in the day as well, like when you were dancing, or was that something that you kind of just found in the recent years?
It was through dancing, yeah. But if we take it way back, like I remember Diddy's making the band.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kind of sparked that, and
Yeah.
and like seeing like the rappers on there. I think like Chopper was one of the rappers
Okay.
on there, and like seeing them come up with verses and writing, I was just like, oh, I want to see what that's like.
Yeah.
I think I'm in middle school at that point, and I'm just trying to
Put
piece
some-
together words or whatever. And then if we take it, even further, like when I'm in like elementary school, I remember Bow Wow, bro, like.
The
What?
goat.
I was learning verses and I was in front of the mirror, like
Yeah.
going crazy, like as if I'm at a show. So,
Yeah.
at that point, and then fast forward, like music kind of to grow on me a little bit more. And like 2009, this is around Jerkin era.
Yeah.
It's a great era.
One of the greatest.
Come on, man. Like after hyphy, it was just like jerking. Like
that was it.
me and my best friend Johnny, we joined forces because he was doing music. He's been doing the music since he was a kid. So we joined forces, and our sound was a little, had the little jerking sound to it, and
right.
Had a mentor with that, like who was like really like rocking with us and getting us in the studio, and then we kind of just started doing our own thing.
Yeah.
There was like no beef or anything. It was just like, oh, like we can just do it all, whatever. And then again, we're dancing at this time. So,
right.
If he's booking, I'm not, it would go like this. So our schedules got too busy. So
yeah,
I just started, doing my own thing. So I would drop like little freestyles here and there. This is 2010, 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the Believe tour, I'm going by John Boogie. That's what everybody knows me as. And we get off of that tour. So 2013, that's when I'm like, oh, I really want to do music now.
Tap in.
And it was really cool because finally, like financially, like I'm good to like, you know what I'm saying, set aside some money to like work on that in the studio, like a professional studio. And long story short, but somebody hit me up through like Instagram, and he was going to go meet, his girlfriend was like a model, and he was going to go meet an artist, and that artist happened to be Saya.
Yeah.
And at that time, she was working at a Tank studio.
Okay,
so, he was like, oh yeah, like pull up with me. So I go with him. I meet Saya for the first time, and it's been love ever since. Like we don't see each other much, but anytime I see Saya, bro, it's so much love with her.
Yeah.
But this is how I know like God be just doing just like phenomenal things. So I remember walking in the studio, and the way the sun is positioned, it's coming like beaming through the studio. So I can't see anybody, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm walking in, and all I hear is Lil Rabon. I'm like, only person that's calling me Lil Rabon is somebody from like my high school days. Like, what the?
Yeah.
So happens like still to this day, my mentor in the music, Chasing Change. He used to play, he was class of 05, but he knew my older brother.
Yeah.
And they used to play football. But after high school, he moved to Atlanta. Like he was doing music out there, and then he moved back. And then that point was like, he's like, you doing music? Like, ooh, like let me see what you got, whatever. And he just took me under his wing, bro. He helped mold my writing.
Yeah.
He helped he helped me, like he allowed me to be free in the studio and just kind of figure stuff out, right?
That's probably the most important part.
What?
You gotta be free.
Yeah, like I knew I could rap, but I didn't know how to form a song just yet. I didn't know like the hook was like, it had to be something so catchy. Like he taught me all of those things. So just being in the studio and then finding your voice, right?
Exactly.
Because you can rap, right? And then, cool. But then when you get in the studio, like a recording artist is completely different from rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's completely different. Like being an actual recording artist and knowing how to control your breath and knowing all those things. I didn't know what none of that was. So for a while, I didn't like my rapping voice or recording artist voice.
Yeah, you got to get in there and figure it out for sure. And having somebody that you're comfortable figuring it out in front of is important, because you don't
early days of auto tune.
Oh yeah. But that was the jerking thing though, for sure.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the cold flames, like all that. Like it was clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's important. And shoot, it just makes me think of like, you mentioned like God and like how he had like the sun was shining in there. I feel like a lot of your story has sort of been like a divine alignment, where things are falling into place.
It ain't me.
Yeah, that's right.
He just using me.
That's right. Yeah, and you just got to go and continue to follow that path.
Absolutely.
But I think that that's awesome, and it just, I think it'll continue to be that way for sure.
Absolutely.
But as far as like any new music goes, have you been working on anything recently, or where you at with it? Because we got some bangers.
I know. Yeah, we got a few. Hey, man, we really got one that's like solidified in like a slap. Like,
come on.
It's like it's really there, bro. Like,
bro, my mom loves Smile.
Bro, people play Smile all the time till this day.
I was just telling him that Smile, when it came out, was like a staple song in like that period. Whenever it came out, like that period of my life.
2015. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little, yeah.
16 maybe.
Yeah, and so it was funny too because one of my friends, Melissa, like doesn't even know this is happening right now,
Yeah.
and she randomly tweeted it yesterday, and I was like,
Out of
"Whoa!"
nowhere.
I was like, "That's
Well,
crazy."
that's crazy because again, like I haven't promoted music in a very, very long time. Like after I dropped my first like debut EP, it was like I had the craziest creative block and like writer's block. I didn't know where to take it. And you know, I'm sure as an artist, when you're just making music just to make music, right?
Yeah. You trying to keep
You're just like you're just making music, you're just having fun, and then something kind of catches, and you're like, oh, and then like people start to get involved with your career, and they're like, oh, you got to make hits, or you got to make more like this, more like this. So I stopped going to the studio just to make music. I was going to the studio to try to replicate a song like I Go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then a year or so later, like a song like Smile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped just making music for that sole purpose. It was like, no, you gotta make a hit. So trying to make a hit, bro. What is that? What is a hit,
Bro,
Yeah.
that's gonna kill a lot of creativity every time.
bro? It definitely killed it for
Yeah.
a very long time, and I'm still like in that creative block a little bit, but I don't know, man. I'm getting to an age where it's like there's no limit, bro. It don't matter what age you are, bro. Either you got it or you don't. So I'm not even rushing it. Like I got records tucked. You know, my shout out to my roommate, Ru.
Yeah.
Amazing artist, producer, but he was the one who kind of like revived me a little bit, and we just started making music, bro. Like for no apparent reason, it was just like, oh, maybe this will come out, maybe it won't, whatever. So yeah.
I think that's how it's got to be though, because especially like for somebody like you, I think that you're gonna have a lot of different outlets to be creative in, through dance, music, and even like taking photos. It's like if you have the ability to do it, it's like,
man,
why not?
I look at myself as like what Pharrell is like as far as creative. He's doing music, he's styling, he's creating clothes, jewelry lines, like all these things, right? I got to a point where it's like, bro, I do all of this shit. Like, I really do it, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh, I'm just this dancer and I'll stay in this box because this is what everybody knows me as. Nah, like,
you can't.
Bro, I picked up my first film camera in 8th grade, bro. And then I bought my first film camera 2013 and went on tour, and I was just shooting. Pandemic hits, I'm like, let me put real intention behind this. Let me see what happens.
Yeah.
Put real intention behind it, bro. Like, I got people hitting me up like, oh, what are your rates? Or can you shoot this campaign? Like,
you're like, what?
I'm like, okay, but it's been like that. Like, if we talking like my 14 years out here, my career has just been like that. Anything I've dabbled in, bro, like, it kind of like something reveals itself that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
For
right?
sure, yeah.
You know, I think of our record Smile. I remember how that record came about. I'm in the studio. Shout out to Zach who produced it. And that's who I was rocking with at the time. He was my main engineer, right? And him and YMTK was rocking, doing their thing. And I just remember I wanted to get in the studio with like Murph. And so he just we lined it up. Zach lined it up, and I'm there, and I'm like telling him like, oh yeah, I want to make a song like this, whatever. And he's like, okay, cool. He hears a beat. Bro, kid you not. Here's a beat, and he's like, I got it. He's like, I got it. Yeah. He go on the booth, he come back out. I was like, oh, it's up. All right, cool. I do the verse. Bro, then we're sitting on the record.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, do I do another verse? Like what do I do? Bro, we sat on it for like a year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And you were I think you were on tour.
I'm trying to think.
Bro, you were on tour at that time because you was like, yo, I'm like.
Oh, yeah. The Hoodie Allen tour. Yeah.
You was like, what you saying? I'm freaking with this record? Freaking with this record?
I'm freaking with this.
Hey, I was like, okay, all right, cool. Say less, all right. So at that point, we did. At that point, he was like, I'm almost done with tour. I'm gonna get back, do the verse, and sing it. Bro. And I remember when you sent it, I was shook, bro. Like I was shook because I was like, in the sense like, Murph will say, he's like, bro, you A&R the hell out of that record.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, damn, you right.
Nah, it worked perfect.
Bro, I was like, damn, okay, cool. So, and then we even sat on it a little bit longer because I'm trying to figure out my situation. I'm trying to figure out how we gonna, do the rollout. Oh, I'm working on the EP. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, even how the video came about, bro, like that was a complete favor, bro.
Shout out
to
Adrian.
Man,
Now he put it together.
Big
We-
Dog put it together, bro.
We were just watching that earlier. The video looks clean too,
Right.
And how he used like the phone film thing with it too.
Bro, I just kind of told him the vibe, and he just really just like showed up. Even the homie discount, like real love, bro.
For the love, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
No,
yeah,
shout out to Adrian.
shout out to AP, man.
I think that at some point, we gotta get another one at some point. You
Oh,
know what
at
I'm
some
saying?
point,
Just
bro.
for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hell
we get in
yeah.
there and we don't think about it too much. We just
Hell
gotta get in
yeah.
there and gig.
Bruh.
The smile part too.
Yeah, we
know what
have
I'm
to.
saying?
It's funny because I joked about that.
Did you?
Yeah, like way, way, way back. I was talking to my boy Chase and just joking, and I was like, "Oh, like smile part 2, whatever." And he was just like,
For sure.
"So it's funny you say that." Hey, man,
Hey.
fine timing. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? Like, hey, you said it, bro.
Yeah. Nah, we definitely gotta take it there. I'm for sure down. I'm gonna be thinking of some beats.
Okay, man. Come
Hell
on,
yeah.
bro. You still got the email? Just
Shoot, yes, sir.
But yeah.
Dang. I was just telling him about the crazy moment. I think it was when his album 680 South dropped.
Oh my gosh.
And
that album,
and you
So talented. Yeah.
you called him about it, and I was at the house with him. You call him whatever, like I think y'all were just talking about, like you were just telling him that you're listening to it.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember what I was doing. I was on
Bro.
my roast. It was a nice day out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just
Sun
bought
was
sub.
shining on you.
Yeah, bro. No,
Glowing.
for real. I'm like listening to it, and I'm just like, I was shook, bro. For real.
Man.
Like on some like real genuine shit. I was like shook because it's like I've heard your sound for I literally at that point I've heard you grow like into all who you are now, right?
Yeah.
And that body of work, I was like, damn, he found himself. Like he really found it.
Nah, thank you.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And
Yeah.
not that you didn't find it in the other projects. It was just like that body of work was the most comfortable I've ever heard you sound, bro. And
That's
I was
crazy.
like, damn, he found it.
No, it means a lot.
And I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but I
yeah.
had to call you.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't one of those things I wanted to text. It was like, nah, I gotta let him know. Like he has to feel this coming
Yeah.
out of
Man,
me. You know
no,
what I mean?
and I did, and that really meant a lot. And
Yeah.
like I'm gonna remember that forever.
That's dope.
Because especially like that was definitely my intention making that one. Like
Yeah.
when I started at the beginning of the year, I said, this is the sound I want to go with, and like I want to take my time with it, put it together. So I'm really glad that somebody felt it on the
bro.
other end for
yeah,
sure.
bro. The rollout was hard too. Like,
Thank you.
yeah, I always appreciate your aesthetic, bro. It makes so much sense.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. But yeah,
Yeah.
humble guy over here, right?
But yeah, we were literally you called him, and obviously I know you through the Justin stuff.
Mhm.
And then so I was like, dang, he just called you like like that. And then that night we start watching the Kids Choice Awards. And you're literally one of 2 dancers dancing with Justin.
my
And we
gosh,
were
yeah,
just like
yeah, I know. I
it was
know.
literally the same day, and we were just like, that
No
Okay.
big deal. Yeah, yeah.
Bro, that's
I was like,
crazy.
oh yeah. Oh, that's okay, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Oh, we go,
That's
we go.
crazy.
is so
It's clean.
crazy.
But nah, man, I appreciate you pulling up and coming through just to check in. It's funny, like I really did want to know like how did you get your start and like all that stuff. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
we got to sit down and talk and do it for the
I
925.
tried to like bunch it up as much as I could, but like it's a long story.
Yeah.
When because you had me, I had to like go in my vote.
yeah.
So what did I do? Yeah.
No, shoot, that's why we got this for it. We can just press record and just let it go. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
hell
So no, you did your thing. But I think that if there's any inspiring dancers or aspiring dancers listening, I think that there's a lot that they could take from this podcast.
Yeah.
But what is there one thing that you could just say to anybody that's trying to come up, especially like in LA or anywhere, to if they're trying to get to their goal?
Bruh, you cannot fake this shit. I will always say this, and I stand by it. The real will always prevail, right? So if you just real and authentic in whatever you're doing, like, just know that you will prevail, because it's too many people out here, like, in this industry who are faking it and they're making it, right?
Yeah,
But that shit
yep.
gonna like, it's gonna flip,
Yeah.
bro.
Absolutely.
And when the real come through, the real is through, bro. Like, for real. So stand by your shit, regardless if nobody's watching it just yet. Like, perfect it, work on it. It's a lot of hard work. But when it happens, that shit is a fucking, like, I did it. Like,
Yeah.
yo, it's crazy. Whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's photography, whether it's anything, bro. Like, when it,
Like, just
it'll
stay
be
on
found,
it,
bro.
stay
The real will always prevail.
Yeah, absolutely. We did not even cover one of the craziest things, Super Bowl
Yeah.
here live. This is back to back. Not only was it just this one, but you're back to back Super
Back
Bowls
to
now.
back, bro.
The
Yeah.
weekend was the first one. How long did it take to do all that stuff for the weekend? Like how you had to wear all that
So
stuff?
again, height of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry that you guys aren't getting the backstory. We'll just kind of like go
No,
through
you're
it,
good.
but
Go.
It'll make sense. Whatever. So height of the pandemic, right? It's they hired 20 dancers from LA, right? And they're like the core dancers who will be with the week in that gold room.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, these are the only 20 that will be by him.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself was just like, dang, this is
Special.
how this
Yeah.
one is special, but this is how serious like
COVID is.
COVID is. Like they don't want the artists to be exposed to, you know, it's so many dancers. I think on that one was like 200, maybe 300. I don't know. It was so many dancers, right? So that process was long, but it was quick, but it was long, right? The hours were like long, but the actual process was pretty quick.
Went by.
Yeah, I remember last year we flew out on my birthday, January 31st, big Aquarius, man.
Yes.
And we were there for a week before the show started, and then just those rehearsals at the stadium were just so long. And you think like Florida, so everybody was excited to get out of LA for a bit because it's cold out here, bro. We get out there, brick.
Wait,
brick, bro.
in Florida?
Yes.
What?
Brick. We was cold in rehearsal. It was to the point people had to go to the mall, bro. Like to
that's
get like
crazy.
sweaters and stuff. It was wild. But the special thing about that Super Bowl is the fact that like, yeah, we were in the middle of a pandemic and all these things, right? Usually when you travel for a job like that, you know, you have shuttles, you're taken care of with like cars and all that, right? Services, but you're with the group, right?
Right. Yeah.
They couldn't chance it. So we all had cars, bro. Like we were two to a car.
Whoa.
So we in a city
Dang.
and we can just mob
Just
low
mob.
key. You know, they telling us like use a car just for rehearsal. Like, man, I'm in the city. Wait, exactly. Quit playing with me, man. Come on. And super special because, you know, my girlfriend, her sister's boyfriend plays for Tampa.
Oh wow.
So
yeah.
he lives out there. So it was just like a family affair. My girlfriend ended up coming. Her parents ended up coming. So that was like, that one is just super like solidified in that. Like
First one to like getting to perform. Like we were talking about, this is probably like this is got to be like the biggest stage, right?
Biggest
in
stage,
the world,
bro.
right?
Biggest.
Super Bowl halftime.
biggest,
You know what I mean?
bro.
And yeah, no, that's crazy that it ended up working out like that as well. This one, this recent one, the Dr. Dre
Yeah,
one,
bro. Real special.
we're watching it.
Shook.
This got to be the best halftime show. I mean, like you can like even if you weren't in it, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at this one
for the culture, 100%.
Man,
What?
the best halftime show of
What?
all time, right?
Super nostalgic. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up on these artists, man. I can remember like walking to high school or just walking to school in general, not just high school, like middle school, all of that, right? With my Walkman, listening to Chronic or 2001 or
Yeah.
just all of those artists, bro. I can remember, I can pinpoint actual moments in my life listening to all these artists.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, my mom used to like clean the house listening to that.
Uh-huh.
I'm in like 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So all these artists hold something so special to me. Like I grew up on this. So, bro, I remember getting the audition for it.
That's
And-
through your agency?
Yeah, through
Like,
my
hey, this is
agency.
coming
Yeah,
up.
and it was a small call, very small call, right?
And what do you mean by that? Like, not a lot of people
it's not a cattle call. It's not just open to the public. It's like, send us
Selective.
very selective. Oh, we want this dancer to come through and audition for it. Cool.
Yeah.
I pull up. At this point, I hadn't done a dance job. Like before this one, my last dance job was Made in America with Bieber.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that was in August.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm just really pushing my I'm on my creative journey. I'm really pushing my creative photos, whatever, creative direction, whatever, right? So this is my first one. I get the audition and I'm like, oh, and I was like, oh, I'm going to this. Like, this gonna be
For sure.
whatever. I did my
Yeah.
thing at the audition. Shout out to Storm. She teaches the walk that we did up in, you know what I'm saying? In
Yep.
the actual performance. She taught us to walk, bro. And I was like, oh, it's different. And
Yeah.
it's different because anybody who's from California, from the West Side, who was in that audition, they already knew what was up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, bruh, like we different over here. So to hear these songs and to do the walk, it's like, yeah, I'm not from LA, but I'm very influenced by it. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? I moved out here when I was 19. Like I started going out here. Like,
Yeah.
so I got hella homies who's really from LA. When I say LA, I'm not talking about the valley. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the inner city, like people who grew up around this shit, right?
Absolutely.
So it was just like, bro, it was special, right? I book it and I'm super, super grateful, like super excited. And my best friend, Michael, he wasn't able to make it to the audition, but he ended up booking it. He just like reached out, was like, and he's from LA too. He's more like Riverside, but like he grew up like in LA as well,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So it was just like, dang, and my best friends and just like my peers, bro. Like if we talking like talent, bro, it's top tier talent on this. And when I say talent, like top tier, I mean like these people are working. Like I'm talking
Really
about
the
the
ones-
generation before me.
Yeah.
And like the generation under me, like all the new coming like talent, like it's everybody. So I'm just super inspired to be in this room. And bro, like crazy. It's crazy. Like those rehearsals were so much fun, especially like being in a room with like Dre and all of them. Like
That's what I was gonna ask.
Seeing them rock,
They had to
bro.
have been there too, right? Like, so
What?
when you guys are doing those rehearsals, yeah. it's like,
my first rehearsal was like the 30th. And
Yeah.
we learned it in the dance studio. Then we went to offsite like for like production. Like they already had the setup because that's how fast it's moving, right?
wow, yeah.
We like 2 weeks out, but like there's so many pieces that go into a performance like that. So yeah, bro, I just remember seeing them and I'm just like, again, I've been in it for so long that I'm not starstruck by many anymore. But like just I remember Dre walked past me and I was just like, okay, yeah,
That's him right
Dre.
there. Yeah.
That's him. And
Yeah.
then Snoop is just, man, like he is like, that's real unk. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Like
yeah.
I just feel like he is just everybody uncle, bro. Like anytime like I would just see him, it was just like, man, that's Snoop. Like,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had this moment, you know how we came out like just kind of like chugging whatever.
Yeah.
There's this moment where he would be like on the other side and he would just like be posted up and I kind of like mimic him and he would just like give it to me. I'd be like, yo, that was crazy. Like,
No, that's
you know
hard.
what I mean? So yeah,
Bro,
but-
he got gigs, low key.
Oh,
like
yeah, Unc got
he was up there
gigs.
doing his thing.
You saw him though, right? When he walked through
Absolutely.
the other, like he walked through like Tam's Burgers. He was
Yeah.
like, doing shit.
That was hard.
Yeah. But yeah, no, just in all, like that performance was crazy too. Like to stand with like Black excellence, and not just with the artists. I'm talking like from my peers in this dance industry, like
100%.
Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? What that performance culturally stood for, like, bruh, it was insane, and it didn't hit me till like after the performance, like what that moment was, right?
Mhm.
So I'm getting hit up by so many people, like, yo, I just saw you on the Super Bowl, like, because again, I only people who knew was just like my family. Like I'm not
Yeah.
out here like, oh, I'm doing the bowl, whatever. So it's like you'll know that I did it afterwards when I like post a picture. I'm not knowing
Oh yeah.
that I'm
No, we all saw you.
yeah, I'm not knowing that I'm about to get the shot or whatever, because again, it's 115 dancers. Like at that point, I'm not over here selfishly thinking like, no, I want to get a shot. I want to get a shot. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nah, like I'm here for the moment. Like I'm here to stand with my brothers, my sisters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so yeah, to get that like a few shots from it, and then people hitting me up, I couldn't even like. I was getting so much love that I couldn't like give it out. Just
Yeah.
I had to sit with it. Like I think I got through all the texts and calls like today.
Yeah.
Like 4
Yeah.
days later.
There
'Cause
you
I
go.
just I wasn't going to my phone and be like, oh yeah, thank you. I just didn't want to hit people with a thank you. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I gotta, you know what I'm saying? If you sewing into me, showing love, like I'm gonna make sure I give you something back. Like, yo, thank you. Like, you know, if it's somebody I hadn't seen in a while, it was like, bro, we got to catch up like soon. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So I'm looking at it as like, if I haven't talked to somebody in so long, they're something in them is making them want to reach out to me and congratulate me. And it's like, oh, we haven't chopped it in a minute. Like, let's get, you know, let's
Yeah.
get to it. Let's see what's going on with life. You know what I'm saying? So
And I really respect that too, wanting to spend time with it. I think that's how you've always been. You know, I really do admire that. I think it's really
Yeah.
cool. But man, congratulations to you
Bruh,
and
thank you,
and
thank
everybody involved with that. That was insane.
thank
Seriously.
you, bruh. Thank
And
you.
just on all your success, man, from the freaking talent show to the Super Bowl.
Bruh, right?
That's insane.
Hey, man. Hey, check it out too. I already knew when I booked it, and I was like, cool. Like show day, I got to get my flicks off, right? And I just
Hell
knew
yeah.
what my caption was gonna be. Drake just kept running to my head.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Had to run it back to back, bro. Like,
Back to back.
Back
Come
to
on.
back, man.
That's
Come
what it
on.
is. And before we close out this podcast for real this time, we gotta shout out your mom and your cousin.
oh,
Real
man.
MVPs.
Come on,
Yeah.
Shout out to my my mama, man, my G baby, and shout out to my cousin Jazzy, man. It's forever indebted.
Absolutely.
You know, the love is forever big.
Man, no, thank you so much for being a part of this with us. Big 925, real Bay Area to Sacramento,
Man,
all
come on.
the way down to LA.
Hey, man,
Come
we
on.
here, bro. We
And-
here.
and,
Congratulations to y'all, man. This
Thank
is
you.
Thank
awesome.
you.
This setup is amazing.
I appreciate
Y'all
it.
can't see it, but like it's a real vibe in here.
Trying to
We're
keep it
playing with
moving.
them.
Ladies and gentlemen, J. Rabon, where can they follow you at?
They can follow me on Instagram at j.rabon. That's RABON. And when I say dot, that's a period.
Yes, sir.
And then you can also follow my creative page, by Rabon. That's BYRABON, by Rabon. Everything creative, whether it's photography, styling, creative direction. Man, I'm doing it all, man. Just don't
Literally
sleep
doing
on
it
That's
it.
what you got to do. Yeah, no, it's clean. We usually do this thing like where if somebody listens all the way to the end,
Yeah.
we'll say pick an emoji and like tweet us the emoji so we know that you made it to the very end.
Damn. Okay.
What's an emoji? I mean, the first one that was making me think of is the lady dancing, like for
The red
Oh,
dress?
yeah, it's
the
the
red
lady,
dress.
and then it's the
She's like
purple dancing
dancing. She's
emoji.
gigging.
I think
Yeah.
it's
the purple dancing emoji.
yeah,
might
but
be
it's
clean.
not that one. That's too just like
Okay.
Let me think. It's
Uh.
for show. It's for show the emoji where it's like he's blowing out like a puff.
Oh.
But it
okay.
looked like it could be like smoking or something, but it's not for that reason. It's almost like that reason of just like, ooh, that shit was hard. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
like
I
so
know
it's
what
that
you're
one.
talking about.
It's that
Oh,
one
yeah.
for sure.
Right on. Hey, I appreciate you coming through. Thank you
Man, thank you
again.
for having me,
And
man.
yeah, guys, definitely go check him out, follow him, drop that emoji. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Love.